It is getting very brutal out there. Nickelodeon with scandals, Madame Web doing terribly, Imaginary getting pounded by horror fans, and all other kinds of nonsense. And apparently, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire shows that Ghostbusters is a frozen empire. But out of the blue comes Romulus, and surprise, surprise, this is pretty excellent. I was stunned how good this is. This is not a trailer, it's only a teaser, so the film itself might still be bad, but wow, it shows a lot of promise. There are a few flaws, but only a few flaws. And again, like most things, you got the basics: good director, good cast, Ridley Scott is producing, but we've been here before, like 20 bazillion times. Nice setup, doesn't quite work, but if you do like aliens in the aliens mythology, and I do, I love it, it's been on a very erratic course with, some inferior sequels. Do we learn too much about the plot? Not really. It's very basic. It seems the aliens, again, are threatening this crew, but there seem to be a few aliens. So they're facing not just one xenomorph. It seems like they have multiple enemies, and the effects are excellent. It looks really creepy, incredibly scary. There's this wailing siren from the first film, so it's very, very respectful nostalgia, and it does promise something very powerful and sinister. But now comes the downside. So, as a horror film, I think we're going to get something visceral, something very powerful and very profound, which fits the alien mythology. However, the first alien film, like the second alien film, is very hard to define. It has elements of horror, elements of sci-fi, elements of the gothic. These are films very hard to categorize. They just have so many different elements of fantasy, fairy tale, political allegory. This is definitely a respectable entry. If it does work out, I think this will be a very strong entry. It may be the third best Alien film. However, it doesn't seem to have the greatness or epic nature of the first film, or even the inventive snarkiness of the second film. I mean, the second film is a very funny film. Like, James Cameron has a very wicked sense of humor. So, we're not getting kind of the full range that we get with the alien mythology that we have. These very weird, interesting characters facing an awesome threat, but they also have a lot of depth in their character. We're only getting that this is a very formidable threat. It's very scary. They're in a very claustrophobic, enclosed area, which makes sense because Alvarez did Don't Breathe, which is an excellent, near perfect horror film. And I would recommend that. So, very promising, but it does feel we're not getting the sheer greatness of the first film or the sheer inventiveness of the second film. However, given how bad the other sequels are, very confident this will work and it will be a very powerful cinematic experience. So I'm giving the teaser a very strong 8.5 out of 10.